And that's very far from me to do after that matter, to slay the righteous with the wicked. Yahweh, all of my strength like the day. Remember, Lord, that they serve in Moshe. To the Lord, the testimony. For they don't make me take the same. My love, R.I.P. Alicia, Natalia and I, truly that's our favorite teacher. Thus saith the preacher, vanity of vanities, he that made the same mistake again, he called it insanity. Show me a man without adversity, I show you a man without character. And this messenger threw us all to prepare us for disaster. Time is moving faster when the really makes it home. They'll be all living lavish. If they won't treat you right, won't teach you right. Serve Yahweh with all your soul and all your might. It'll make a brass monkey cry. True for tradition, to do the hearts of the Father. Back to the children, there is no other God beside my making name. Yahweh, your host, and there is no Holy Ghost. And supposing you thought they came to bring peace on this earth, he said no. Old man for counsel and young man for woe. For sure to the late grade. The prophet taught us the knowledge of Yahweh. Therefore I pay homage, giving glory to the Holy One, the King of the Kings, the strength of Israel, one day every day. Yahweh, all of my strength like the day. Remember, Lord, that they serve in Moshe. To the Lord, testimony. For they don't make these as the same. To have all the sins of the wicked laid upon him, and then he was going to give himself for a sacrifice and die for all their sins. Now he was going to die for all their sins, and then all their sins was laid upon him. The men that raised the little bitty babies, the men that had sex with the little daughters, the men that were murdering their mothers, the men that were stealing from Yah, like the preachers that go in today, he said all the sins are on this person. Yah, Yah, Elohim, Yah, Yahweh.
Shalom, shalom, brothers and sisters all over the world. I'm YAHWEH being Israel, and I'm a Hebrew servant of the Most High Yahweh. There's number one. It's all about Yahweh. Now, today's topic, I'm going to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that Yahweh always did speak in the Old Testament and never spoke in the New Testament. Now, if anybody out there in this world today that can prove to me that Yahweh spoke to any man, woman, or child in the New Testament, call me at 618-203-4182. And every time you show me in the New Testament where Yahweh spoke to anybody at any time, I'll send you $100. Yes, sir. I'm gonna send you $100 every time you show me where Yahweh spoke in the New Testament. So, and I'm gonna prove today that he spoke all through the Old Testament, and he never said one mumbling word in the New Testament. And another thing, I'm gonna prove that the New Testament say you never heard his voice at any time. So now I'm gonna start off in Genesis, the 3rd chapter. He started talking in Genesis in the beginning. Genesis, the 3rd chapter, 1st verse.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahweh Elohim had made.
Subtle, it means slick. He was more cunning and slick than any beast. Read.
And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath Elohim said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said to the woman, Ye shall not surely die. For Elohim doeth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together, and made themselves aprons. And
Now,
they
okay. Now this what I want. Verse 8. Okay, go ahead.
and they heard the voice of Yahweh Elohim walking in the garden in the
They
cool
heard
of
the
the day.
what?
And they heard the voice of Yahweh Elohim walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Yahweh Elohim amongst the trees of the garden.
Now the Most High start speaking, talking in Genesis in the garden. Read.
And Yahweh Elohim called unto Adam and said unto him,
He called it an Adam. So if he called him, he had to be talking. He had to be speaking and talking. If he called him to Adam, what did he tell Adam?
and said unto him, Where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden,
Now Adam say he heard the voice of Elohim in the garden. Read.
and I was afraid because I was naked,
And he said, I was afraid because I was naked because they had sinned, but that's another topic. I ain't finna talk about that. I'm talking about what Yahweh speaking. I'm going to prove that he spoke all through the Old Testament. Read.
and I hid myself. And he said, Who told thee that thou wast naked?
He having a conversation with Adam. Yahweh and Adam is conversing, having a talk. Read.
Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? And the man said, The woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And Yahweh Elohim said unto the woman,
Now
What
he talking to the woman. He didn't talk to Adam. Now he finna talk to the woman. Read.
what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat.
The serpent tricked me and I didn't eat. That's another topic in subject. I ain't gonna talk about that today. Read.
And Yahweh Elohim said unto the serpent,
He said it to the serpent. Now he's speaking to he just spoke to Adam, the woman, and the serpent. Read.
Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle.
Now I just wanted to get to I ain't gonna talk about that. Let's go to Exodus 4 and 30. Prove me beyond the shadow of doubt that Yahweh spoke all the way through the Old Testament. And he started in Genesis talking. Exodus 4 and 30.
Exodus chapter Exodus chapter 4, verse 30. And Aaron spake uh, and Aaron spake all the words which Yahweh had spoken unto Moses,
See, Yahweh spoke to Moses. Read.
and did the signs in the sight of the people, and the people believed. And when they heard that Yahweh had visited the children of Israel, and that he had looked upon their affliction, then they bowed their heads and worshipped.
Okay, go to Exodus 9 and 12. Still talking about Yahweh speaking in the Old Testament.
Exodus chapter 9, verse 12. And Yahweh hardened the heart of Pharaoh, and he hearkened not unto them, as Yahweh had spoken unto Moses.
Yahweh spoke to Moses.
And Yahweh said unto Moses,
Now he said to Moses,
Rise up early in the rise up early in the morning, and stand before Pharaoh, and say unto him, Thus said Yahweh Elohim of the Hebrews, Let my people go, that they may serve me. For I will at this time send all my plagues upon thine heart, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, that thou mayest know that there is none like thee in all the earth.
ain't nobody like Yahweh in all the earth. Read.
For now I will stretch out my hand, that I may smite thee and thy people with pestilence, and thou shalt be cut off from the earth. And in very deed for this cause have I raised thee up, for to show thee it, to show in thee my power, and that my name may be declared throughout all the earth.
Okay, now show me in the New Testament where the Almighty raised anybody up. Where he raised J.C., Peter, Paul, any of them up. He raised Moses up for that. Okay, go to Exodus 9 and 35. Or did I just read that? No, Exodus 9 and 35. Yeah. Did I read that? Oh, no, just, yeah, go to Exodus 9 and 35.
Exodus chapter 9, verse 35. And the heart of Pharaoh was hardened, neither would he let the children of Israel go, as Yahweh had spoken by
He
Moses.
spoke about him. Okay, go to 19 and 8. Exodus 19 and 8.
Exodus chapter 19, verse 8. And all the people answered together and said, all that Yahweh hath spoken we will do.
Now, everything that Yahweh said we would do. Now, he's speaking in the Old Testament. Read.
And Moses returned the words of the people unto Yahweh.
That's right. Okay, go to Exodus 34 and 27, I think. Exodus 34 and 34. Yeah, 27.
Exodus chapter 34, verse 27. And Yahweh said unto Moses, write thou these words, for after the tenor of these words I have made a covenant with thee and with Israel. And he was there with Yahweh 40 days and 40 nights. He did neither eat bread nor drink water.
See, that's where they got this New Testament statement for. JC did this, did that 40 days and 40 nights. They lying. Read. That's where this come from. Read.
And he wrote upon the tables of the words of the covenant the 10 Commandments. And it came to pass, when Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tables of testimony in Moses' hand, when he came down from the mount, that Moses was not, that the skin of his face shone while he talked with him. And when Aaron and all the children of Israel saw Moses, behold, the skin of his face shone, and they were afraid to come nigh him. And Moses said unto them, and Aaron and all the rulers of the congregation returned unto him. And Moses called unto them, and Aaron and all the rulers of the congregation returned unto him, and Moses talked with them. And afterward all the children of Israel came nigh, and he gave them in commandment all that Yahweh had spoken with him in Mount Sinai.
See, the Almighty talked to Moses. He spoke to him. Read.
And till Moses had done speaking with them, he put a veil on his face. But when Moses went in before Yahweh to speak with him, he took the veil off until he came out. And he came out and spoke unto the children of Israel that which he was commanded.
All through this book, he's speaking to he's speaking to people. Okay, go to Numbers 1. Yeah, I think Numbers 1 and let's see. Yeah, Moses. I mean, Numbers 1 and 48.
Numbers chapter 1, verse 48. For Yahweh has spoken unto Moses, saying,
Okay, that's all I wanted. Go to 10 and 29. Yeah, 10 and 29.
Numbers chapter 10, verse 29. And Moses said unto Hobab, the son of Rag, Raguel,
Yeah,
the,
regular. Yeah, the
the,
Midianite.
the Midianite, Moses' father-in-law, we are journeying unto the place of which Yahweh said, I will give it you. Come thou with us, and we will do thee good. For Yahweh hath spoken good concerning Israel.
He's spoken all through this book. Spoken. Go to Joshua, the book of Joshua, 21 and 5. I mean 21. 21. Let me get 21 and 45.
Joshua chapter 21, verse 45. There fell not aught of any good thing which Yahweh hath spoken unto the house of Israel. All came to pass.
He spoke to the whole house of Israel. He spoke. Okay, Second Kings. Second Kings. Second Kings 19 and 21.
Second Kings chapter 19, verse 21. This is the word.
No. Second Kings chapter 19, verse 21. Second Kings. Oh, no, that's my fault. Okay, I got First King. Okay, Second King. You was right. Okay, I'm the one wrong. Let's see. 19. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Second King 19 and 21.
Second Kings chapter 19, verse 21. This is the word that Yahweh hath spoken concerning him. The virgin, the daughter of Zion, hath despised thee, and laughed thee to scorn. The daughter of Jerusalem hath shaken her head at thee. Whom
Okay, that's all I need. He has spoken. Now let's go over into the New Testament, see what the New Testament say right quick there. I'm just gonna be in there for a minute. Let's go to St. John. Let's see what this retarded book said. Okay, I think I want John. John. I think John 9 and 29. 29. Let's see.
John chapter 9,
Oh
verse.
no, that ain't what I want. I want John chapter 5 and 37. Okay, yeah. 5. Let me get it right. 5 and 37. Okay, yeah, that's what I want.
John chapter 5, verse 37. And the Father himself, which hath sent me, hath borne witness of me.
Now this JC talking, which is a lie. This JC talking is lie. Read.
Ye have neither heard his voice at any time.
So he just told a lie. JC in all red words just told a lie. And that all through the Old Testament he's speaking. Now read that lie again.
And the Father himself, which hath sent me.
We know he ain't sent him. He sent Moses, but he sent David. He never sent JC. So he burned false witness right now. Read.
Hath borne witness of me.
And he never borne witness to you. You told another lie.
Ye have neither heard his voice at any time.
Now that's 3 lies you done told in one sentence. You never heard his voice at any time, and everybody in the Old Testament heard his voice. Adam heard his voice. The serpent heard his voice. The woman heard his voice. Moses heard his voice. Everybody heard his voice. Read.
Nor seen his shape.
So we know that's a lie. So let me go back to the Old Testament and prove some more lies that they said. Okay, let's go to let's go to Numbers. See how that book lie, y'all. Now if y'all believe that, boy, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, Numbers 11 and 16. No, that's a Leviticus right there. Yeah, Numbers 11 and 16 through 18. Yeah.
Numbers chapter 11, verse 16. And Yahweh said unto Moses, Gather unto me 70 men of the elders of Israel, whom thou knowest to be the elders of the people, and officers over them, and bring them unto the tabernacle of the congregation, that they may stand there with thee. And I will come down and talk with thee there, and I will take up the spirit which is upon thee, and will be and will put it upon them, and they shall bear the burden of the people with thee, that thou bear it not thyself alone. And say thou unto the people, Sanctify yourselves against tomorrow, and ye shall eat flesh. For ye have wept in the ears of Yahweh, saying, Who shall give us flesh to eat? For it was well with us in Egypt. Therefore Yahweh will give you flesh, and ye shall eat.
Okay. We'll go to Deuteronomy 5 and 23. Let's see, Deuteronomy 5. Yeah, Deuteronomy 5 and 23. Yeah.
Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 23. And it came to pass, when ye heard the voice out of the midst of the darkness, for the mountain did burn with fire, that ye came near unto me, even all the heads of your tribes and your elders. And ye said, Behold, Yahweh our Elohim hath showed us his glory and his greatness, and we have heard his voice out of the midst of the fire.
You have what? Say that again. You heard New Testament just said you heard his voice and you ain't never heard his voice. What the Old Testament just say?
And we have heard his voice out of the midst of the fire. We have seen this day that Elohim doeth talk with man, and he liveth.
He talked with man. So when the New Testament say he ain't never spoke or talked to nobody, they lying. Book lying now. Ezekiel. Ezekiel chapter 3. Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 21.
Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 21. Nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man that the righteous sin not, and he doeth not sin, he shall surely live, because he is warned. Also, thou hast delivered thy soul, and the hand of Yahweh was there upon me, and he said unto me,
He said, he talking. In Ezekiel, he talking. Read.
Arise, go forth into the plain, and I will there talk with thee.
What? He gonna talk with thee, telling Ezekiel. Read.
Then I arose and went forth into the plain, and behold, the glory of Yahweh stood there, as the glory which I saw by the river of Chabar, and I fell on my face.
Okay. Woo, he's speaking all through the book. Okay. Genesis. Oh yeah, I forgot to get there. Let's go back to Genesis. There's some more in Genesis. I forgot. Genesis 17. Yeah. Yeah, Genesis 17 and 1.
Genesis chapter 17, verse 1. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, Yahweh appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty Elohim. Walk before me, and be thou perfect, and I will make my covenant between me and thee, and will multiply thee exceedingly. And Abram fell on his face, and Elohim talked with him,
He talked to Abram.
saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee,
He told Abram, my covenant is with thee. He talking to him.
and thou shalt be a father of many nations.
And he told Abram, you're going to be the father of many nations. That's what the word Abraham means. Read.
Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham.
The Almighty Yahweh changed Abram's name to Abraham. Read.
For a father of many nations
And this what your name mean, the father of many nations.
have I made thee, and I will make thee exceeding fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee.
Out of your loins, generation after generation.
And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee, and their generations, for an everlasting covenant, to be a Elohim unto thee, and to thy seed after thee. And I will give unto thee, and to thy seed after thee, the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession.
Okay, I just wanted to prove that the Most High talked to Abram, changed his name, had a conversation with him. Okay, Genesis 35. 35 and 13.
Genesis chapter 35, verse 13. And Elohim went up from him in the place where he talked with him.
He talked.
And Jacob set up a pillar in the place where he talked with him.
He talked. He talking to Jacob. He talked to Adam. He talked to everybody. He spoke to everybody and talked to everybody in the Old Testament. Read.
Even a pillar of stone. And he poured a drink offering thereon. And he poured oil thereon. And Jacob called the name of the place where Elohim spake with him Bethel.
The name where he talked to him at was called Bethel. Okay. Exodus 20 and 19. Exodus 20, I think, 20 and 19.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 19. And they said unto Moses, Speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not Elohim speak with us, lest we die.
And they got scared. Don't want the Almighty to talk. They know the Almighty talk in the Old Testament. He ain't never talked in the New Testament. Read.
And Moses said unto the people, Fear not, for Elohim is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. And the people stood afar off, and Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where Elohim was. And Yahweh said unto Moses,
Said unto Moses. He spoken to Moses.
Thus thou shalt say unto the children of Israel,
This what you tell the children of Israel, Moses, since I'm talking to you and speaking to you, and the New Testament say you don't do that. Read.
Ye have seen that I have talked with you from heaven.
Talk with them in heaven. That's right. That's all I needed. Okay, go to Exodus 33. I'm popping corn, boy, and letting you know the New Testament ain't a fart in a windstorm. And anybody out there believing in the New Testament is a zip zap damn fool. How could you gonna believe in something that, man, what I say? Exodus 33. Yeah, start the 7th verse.
Exodus chapter 33, verse 7. And Moses took the tabernacle and pitched it without the camp, afar off from the camp, and called it the tabernacle of the congregation. And it came to pass that everyone which sought Yahweh went out unto the tabernacle of the congregation, which was without the camp. And it came to pass, when Moses went out unto the tabernacle, that all the people rose up and stood every man at his tent door, and looked after Moses until he was gone into the tabernacle. And it came to pass, as Moses entered into the tabernacle, the cloudy pillar descended and stood at the door of the tabernacle, and Yahweh talked with Moses.
Yahweh talk with him, baby. Talk. That's right, he talked. Okay, let's go to 34. Exodus 34. Still proving that the Almighty spoke and talked all through the Old Testament and ain't said now word or mumbling word in the New Testament to nobody in no time. Prove it if he did, but you can't do it. You're lying. You can't prove nothing. Okay, what is Exodus 30? What I said? Exodus 34? Okay. 34 and 28.
Exodus chapter 34, verse 28. And he was there with Yahweh 40 days and 40 nights. He did neither eat bread nor drink water, and he wrote upon the tables the words of the covenant.
Oh, I already read that. I read that already. Okay, let's go to Deuteronomy 5. Let's go. Yeah, Deuteronomy 5. Deuteronomy 5 and I think 4. Yeah.
Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 4. And Yahweh talked with you face to face in the mount out of the midst of the fire.
That's right. Talk face to face. Zechariah 1 and 9. Zechariah 1 and 9. I'm showing you today, all through this book, he talked to everybody.
Zechariah chapter 1, verse
9.
9.
Mm-hmm.
Then said I, O my Lord, what are these? And the angel that talked with me said unto me, I will show thee what these be. And the man that stood among the myrtle trees answered and said, These are they whom Yahweh hath sent to walk to and fro through the earth.
That's right. Yahweh is sent and walked through the earth. Okay, now let's go to something else. Okay, let's go to Proverbs. Now, I didn't prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that the Most High spoke all through the Old Testament. Let's go to Proverbs 16. Yeah, 16 to 25. Cold blooded right here.
Proverbs chapter 16, verse 25. There is a way that seemeth right unto a man.
It said there's a way to seem right to you. The New Testament seemed right to everybody. The New Testament say, the people of the world that's been brainwashed and bamboozled and hood with believe that you have to have a New Testament, but it seemed right. The New Testament seemed right. Let's go see what happened after it seemed right to all the people that believe in the New Testament. Read.
But the end thereof are the ways of death.
When you get through believing in that New Testament, you going to hell because you believe it's right. It seems right. I was raised in it. You's a fool. The book pop. Read that again.
There is a way that seemeth right unto a man.
And everybody that believe in the New Testament, it seemed right unto them.
But the end thereof are the ways of death.
In the end, when you get through believing and worshiping and following that New Testament, you're going straight to hell with gasoline draws on. Okay, Proverbs 14. Proverbs 14 and 12.
Proverbs chapter 14, verse 12. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man,
You said it twice in this book. Read.
but the end thereof are the ways of death.
Keep reading.
Even in laughter the heart is sorrowful, and the end of that mirth is heaviness. The backslider in heart shall be filled with his own ways,
The backslider, the one that used to believe in Yah, now they believe in Christianity in the New Testament. Read.
and a good man shall be satisfied from himself. The simple believeth every word.
The simple man believe every word. A simple man is TDJ, Creflo Dollar, and all these clowns is going to church every Sunday. That's the simple man. He believe everything. Read.
But the prudent man looketh well to his going.
The prudent man is the wise man looking at it. He gonna study for himself. He ain't gonna just take what no man say. He gonna pray and worship and study the book. He ain't gonna just believe somebody come out of the man's mouth. He just rapping and talking. Read.
A wise man feareth and departed from evil.
See, a wise man, he gonna depart from evil, and evil is the New Testament. And I'm gonna prove to you that the New Testament is evil because they tell all kind of lies. Read.
But the fool rageth and is confident.
The fool raising his cup, he gonna get mad when you tell him the truth.
He that is soon angry dealeth foolishly, and a man of wicked devices is hated. The simple inherit folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. The evil bow before the good, and the wicked at the gates of the righteous.
That's right.
The poor is hated even of his own neighbor,
The poor man is hated,
but the rich have many friends.
but the rich folks got many friends. Everybody want to be with somebody rich around them, stuff. But when you poor and ain't got nothing, don't nobody want to be bothered with you. The book just said it. The rich got all the people following them, but a poor man, won't nobody follow no poor man. In other words, everybody gonna follow a rich lion man. But the poor man just telling the truth, don't nobody want to hear that. Okay. Now let's go to Deuteronomy 4. Don't nobody want to hear no poor man talking, but they'll listen to a rich man all night and all day. See, I'm a poor man. That's the reason they don't want to hear me. If I had plenty of money and I was a celebrity on TV every 5 minutes, they'd be listening then. And when you poor and ain't got no money and telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth, they ain't gonna listen to you. They ain't gonna talk about you. Okay, Deuteronomy chapter 4, yes, and 1. Yeah.
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 1. Now therefore hearken, O Israel, unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you, for to do them, that ye may live, and go in and possess the land which Yahweh Elohim of your fathers giveth you.
See, the Almighty gave us statutes and laws and judgment in the Old Testament. He ain't never told you to hearken to the New Testament. Say obey the Torah. Don't obey no New Testament. Read.
Ye shall not add unto the word which I command you.
And so that New Testament was added. The Almighty Yahweh told you don't add, and they added it anyway.
Neither shall ye diminish aught from it.
Don't take away from the Torah, the Tanakh, the Old Testament. Don't take away. Don't put nothing there and don't take away nothing there. It say what it mean what it say. Just do it. Read.
That ye may keep the commandments of Yahweh your Elohim which I command you. Your eyes have seen what Yahweh did because of false deity for all the men that follow false deity.
And the Almighty gonna show you what he gonna do to them, all them Christians and them people that's following the New Testament. See what's gonna happen to them.
Yahweh the Elohim have destroyed them
Read.
from among you.
He gonna destroy this Christianity and this JC and this New Testament junk.
But ye that did cleave unto Yahweh your Elohim are alive every one of you this day. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahweh my Elohim commanded me, that ye should do so in the land, whether ye go to possess it.
And he ain't taught you to believe in no New Testament. Show me where he taught you to believe in the New Testament. Some Greek writings, Rome, and English and junk that come out of Rome. We ain't no Romans. Read.
Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding. And
This is your wisdom and understand when you obey the Torah. When you listen to what Yahweh say, not listen to what T.D. Jason, Creflo Dollar, and all these other clowns in the United States and everywhere else talking about, because they ain't talking about nothing. Read.
in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes, and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great, who have Elohim so nigh to them, as Yahweh or Elohim is in all things that we call upon him for?
That's right, because you ought to be tickled to death to serve Yahweh. Tickled to death. Because we the only one got the true and living Elohim. We the only one in this world, on this earth, that worship the real, true McCoy Yahweh. And he's by himself. Everybody else, all these other nations got pagan gods, false gods, gods that don't even exist, made up gods. We are the people that love and chose the Most High. Well, he chose us. Read.
And what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law,
Nobody but us.
which I set before you this day?
That's what is set before us this day, right?
Only take heed to thyself, and keep thyself diligently, lest thou forget the things which thy eyes have seen, and lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life, but teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons, especially the day that thou stoodest before Yahweh the Elohim in Horeb, when Yahweh said unto me,
When Yahweh said, he's speaking, he talking, say it, read.
gather me the people together,
That's what he told them, gather the people. He ain't told nobody in the New Testament to gather nobody, gather nothing, read.
and I will make them hear my words,
Hear his words, not the New Testament words, the Old Testament word, hear his words, read.
that they may learn to fear me all the days that they shall live upon the earth,
But they went the other way. They went to listen to Christianity in the New Testament. That's really they don't fear Yah. They're going to put that monkey in the New Testament on the pedestal. Read.
and that they may teach their children. And he came near and stood upon the mountain, and the mountain burned with fire unto the midst of heaven.
But today they teaching their children how to go to church, how to pray, how to baptize, how to do this, how to get a man all the money. You know, you teach them the opposite of this. You ain't teaching what thus said Yah. You teaching about Christianity and what JC say, love your enemies and hate your mama. Read.
With darkness, clouds, and thick darkness. And Yahweh spake unto you out of the midst of the fire. Ye heard the voice of the words, but saw no similitude.
You ain't saw this picture of this man y'all got on y'all on the wall. You ain't seen no picture of him. He don't look like that. You got a picture of this hippie on the stick on the wall.
Only ye heard a voice.
You heard his voice all through the Old Testament. You heard the Almighty's voice. Okay, go to Proverbs 30. New Testament say you ain't heard his voice no time. All through this book he's speaking. Proverbs, what I say? Yeah, Proverbs 30. Yeah, Proverbs 30 and 5.
Proverbs chapter 30, verse 5. Every word of Elohim is pure.
He said all the words is pure in this Old Testament.
He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him.
He's a shield and one to trust in him.
Add thou not unto his words.
Don't add no New Testament to his words. He ain't never told you to add no New Testament. This Johnny come lately book. This book ain't about 300 or 400 years old. You gonna add another book to his book? You's a fool. Read.
Lest he reprove thee, and thou be found a liar.
Because you're going to be found a liar when you believe in that New Testament, that Hamashiach, Yahshua, and JC character. You're going to be found a liar. And I'm going to prove that it is a lie. Okay, now let's go to, let me show you some lies. Let's go to Ephesians. See if this is true. Ephesians chapter 3. In the New Testament, these lies. I ain't going to tell it to you. I'm going to show it to you. And how you going to believe in this book and what it say? Page 4, 1471. Chapter Ephesians chapter 3. Yeah. Chapter 3 and start at the 7th verse.
Ephesians chapter 3, verse 7. Whereof I was made a minister according to the gift of the grace of God
A lie, read.
given unto me by the effectual working of his power.
A lie, read.
Unto me, who am less than the least of all saints, is this grace given, that I should preach among the Gentiles the unsearchable riches of JC,
And there's a lie, read.
and to make all men see what is the fellowship of the mystery, which from the beginning of the world have been hid in God, who created all things by JC.
Now you tell me that's the truth. That's a lie. He said in the beginning, he created all things through this monkey in the New Testament. Y'all know that's a lie. Read that lie again, then I'm gone.
And to make all men see what is the fellowship of the mystery.
It said to make all men see the mystery.
Which from the beginning of the world have been hid in God, who created all things by JC.
Who created all things by this New Testament. The New Testament wasn't even on the scene. JC wasn't even born. So how you going to create all things and wasn't no such thing was Christianity, the New Testament, JC, Hamashiach, and Yahshua. So y'all know this a lie. Know this is a lie. Go to Colossians. Let's see. Y'all gonna follow a book that's told a bald-faced lie. But our people love to be lied to. The book say, "Oh, we love to be lied to." Shit. 1 through 15. I mean, Galatians 1, okay, 1 verse 15.
Colossians chapter 1 verse 15. Who is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of every creature? For by him were all things created.
See, talking about this monkey in the new to all things created, firstborn and all number lives. Read.
That are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him.
Say everything was created by JC and for JC. Now y'all know that's a lie. Keep reading, you lies.
And he is before all things.
Now JC was before all things, which is a lie. Y'all know the truth.
And by him all things consist.
Boy. Study line. Read.
And he is the head of the body, the church.
Yeah, he might be the head of the church, but he ain't the head of nothing else. That's right, because we don't go to church. We don't believe in church. There's nobody in the Old Testament go no church. Hey, that's pagan. It's falseism. Read.
Who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead.
You're a lie. You ain't the beginning of nothing. You're the beginning of going to hell. Anybody that follow you going straight to hell. Read.
That in all things he might have the preeminence. For it pleased the Father that in him should all fullness dwell.
They ain't please no father because the father don't even know him. So this is another lie. How the father going? How it's going? What please the father is? Let me show you what please the father when I get done. You got to keep his laws, statutes, judgment, commandment. That's what please the father, not nothing else. Not following JC don't please no father. You follow JC, you going straight to hell. Read.
And having made peace through the blood of his cross.
And the Almighty don't believe in no cross. So all this is made up junk, the lies. Read.
By him to reconcile all things unto himself. By him, I say, whether they be things in earth or things in heaven.
Boy, that's a lie. Okay, now let's go to let me see, Jeremiah. Go back to the Old Testament, cause we just read all them lies in the New Testament. And anybody believe that there's a boy, you retarded. You need to be in a mental institution. If you believe anything in the New Testament, you need to be in a mental institution, cause you got a serious problem. And all through this book, the Almighty spoke, and he ain't speak to nobody in the New Testament. But you're going to believe that we got to have that book. That book go together like a hand and glove, like they tell me. The New Testament go with the Old Testament. We got to have the old with the new because they go together like a hand and glove. Man, you retarded. What I say? Jeremiah 28. Okay, Jeremiah 28 and 15. No.
Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 15. Then said the prophet Jeremiah unto Hananiah the prophet.
Now the real prophet is Jeremiah, and the fake phony prophet is T.D. Jakes and them today. Talking about T.D. Jakes and them today. Watch this.
Hear now, Hananiah, Yahweh have not sent thee.
Yahweh ain't sent T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar, and all these people, all these preachers to go to church. He ain't sent none of them. Read.
But thou makest this people to trust in a lie.
And when you go to church, you're going to make these people in this church that's following you trust in a lie. Read.
Therefore thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will cast thee from off the face of the earth.
And he going to cast all these preachers, all these Christians, all these people believing in their off the earth.
This year thou shalt die, because thou hast taught rebellion against Yahweh.
You teach, and when you go to church, you teach a rebellion against Yahweh. The Almighty ain't never told you to wear no cross, be baptized, and go. You got to have the Son to go through the Father, and and all this old junk. He ain't never done. He got laws and statutes and judgment commandments for you to keep, not follow no man. Read.
So Hananiah the prophet died the same year in the 7th month.
So this man died because he was a false prophet and a fake man that teaching the people lies about something else, anything. But at this time, in this day and time, I'm talking about in this day and time, it's Christianity that's teaching our people lies. Love your enemies. And spitefully do the man, come on, man, pray for your enemy. Do the animals in the wild love their enemies? No, they don't. They see the enemy, they take off running. Even in the sea and on land. Don't nobody love their enemies but a fool. But a zip zap damn fool if you love your enemy. Yahweh ain't never told you to love your enemy. He said, love me and keep my commandments. That's what he told us. Love him and keep his laws. Okay, let me see what else I want. Did I read Jeremiah 7? Let's see if I read Jeremiah 7. Let's see. Did I read Jeremiah 7? Okay, read Jeremiah 7 and 8.
Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 8. Behold, ye trust in lying words that cannot profit.
Ye trust in lying words that cannot profit. That's what the Jeremiah the book say. Lying words is the New Testament that you trust in. The Almighty Yahweh never spoke or did nothing or said nothing to nobody in the New Testament, but you trust in that. That's what the book's saying. Okay, let me show you. Let me see where I want to go. Yeah, okay, let me show you some more lies. Let's go to Matthew right quick. Then that's my last time going over here. I have to go to the New Testament to prove beyond a shadow of doubt that it ain't no good. My brothers hate going in, and I hate going in too. But I got to get the point across. I got to let you know where they lying at all the time. Okay, what's that? Matthew. Let's go Matthew 14 and 25. I think that's what I want. Let me see. Yeah, Matthew 14 and 25. You know this is a lie.
Matthew chapter 14, verse 25. And in the 4th watch of the night, JC went unto them, walking on the sea.
He walking on the sea. Now you know that's a lie. Can no man walk on the water, walk on top of the water, see? Read.
And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea,
and they saw this fool walking on the sea, which is a lie. This ain't nothing but a dream somebody had, a made up story. Ain't nobody walked on no water. If this man walked on the water, why come he couldn't save himself off that cross? Hollering and crying. Read.
they were troubled, saying, It is a spirit, and they cried out for fear. But straightway JC spake unto them, saying, Be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid.
This me in the flesh, don't be afraid. That's a lie. Okay, go to Mark. Go to Mark 6. Mark 6 and 48. I think that's for it.
Mark chapter 6, verse 48. And he saw them toiling and rowing.
Now start 47. Start at 47.
Verse 47. And when even was come, the ship was in the midst of the sea, and he alone on the land.
Letting you know we in the sea, this is the water.
And he saw them toiling and rowing, for the wind was contrary unto them. And about the 4th watch of the night and he cometh unto them, walking upon the sea, and would have passed by them. But when they saw him walking upon the sea, they supposed it had been a spirit, and cried out.
No, he told him I wasn't no spirit, so he lied. He said, "No, I'm flesh. I ain't no spirit. This is me really walking on top of the water. Want somebody to believe a lie? This New Testament ain't nothing but some junk." Okay, let me see what John 6 and 19 says. Let me see. The more lies. Oh, another lie. Yeah, the John chapter 6 verse 19.
John chapter 6 verse 19. So when they had rowed about 25 or 30 furlongs, they see JC walking on the sea and drawing nigh unto the ship, and they were afraid.
Mm-mm.
But he said unto them, It is I, be not afraid.
Don't be afraid, cause I'm the one walking on. You know, the Almighty ain't gave no man or no power to walk on no water. So y'all know this is a lie. Mm-mm. Now let's go to Psalms 81. They ain't gonna listen to the truth. Our people is not gonna. They gonna have it their way, not Yahweh's way, but their own way. What did I say? Let's go to Psalm 81. I think I want somebody out there to call me and show me where the Most High had any dealings with anybody in the New Testament, where He talked to anybody, or walked with anybody, or did anything with anybody in the New Testament. Do that, and then I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna send you $100 every time you can prove it. Don't tell me, show me. Psalms 81 and start at the 11th verse.
Psalms chapter 81 verse 11.
81, yeah.
But my people would not hearken to my voice.
Yahweh say His people ain't gonna listen to His voice. They gonna go to church. They gonna listen to TDJ, Creflo Dollar, and all the rest of them clowns is out there. All these people, they ain't gonna read that again, cause that's corn now.
But my people would not hearken to my voice.
And who was His people? The Hebrew Israelites. The ones that Israelites but call themselves Christians. The ones that Israelites call themselves Muslim. The ones that Israelites that call themselves atheists. The ones that Israelites been brainwashed, bamboozled, and hoodwinked. Don't the people that don't claim nothing. The neutron read.
And Israel would none of me.
And they don't want no parts of Him.
So I gave them up unto their own heart's lust.
He let you do what you want to do, gave it to your own heart, but you going to hell for doing it.
And they walked in their own counsels.
They went to church. They broke the Sabbath. They broke all the law, their own counsel. They did what they wanted to do. I'm doing me. So keep doing you. That's what they did. Broke all His laws and went to church. Read.
Oh, that my people had hearkened unto me.
Oh, if you had to listen to Yahweh.
And Israel had walked in my ways.
And you had to deal with Yahweh said did. But now you're going to go to Christianity in the New Testament and listen to that junk.
I should soon have subdued their enemies.
He would have took care of your enemies. You wouldn't be in the United States. You wouldn't be, bad stuff wouldn't be happening to you. All this evil that's in this world, all this evil in this world is because don't nobody want to serve Yah. You want to turn to the Democrats, the Republicans, the president. You want to return to everybody but Yah. And a man can't save you or help you. You better turn to Yah. That's the only person can stop all this that's going on in America. Only our Elohim. He the only one can do it. Read.
And turn my hand against their adversaries.
And He would have turned His head. He gonna stop the police from doing everything to you. Yahweh ain't gonna. It say, touch not my anointing and do my prophet no harm. The Almighty ain't gonna let His people that love Him and the ones that keep His laws and stuff. He ain't gonna let bad evil stuff happen to you. No. He ain't gonna do it. He ain't let nothing happen to Moses. He ain't let nothing happen to David. He ain't let nothing happen to Abraham. He ain't let nothing happen to Jacob. He ain't let nothing happen to none of them. He ain't let nothing happen to Job. He didn't let nothing happen to them. Why? Because they loved Yah and kept all His laws. That's the only reason why. Not because they believed in no New Testament. Not because they went to church. Not because they baptized. Not because they wore a cross. He ain't studying that. That's when this bad evil stuff happening to you. Because you turn into the wrong people. You turn into the churches and Christianity, which is all lies. All lies. I can't listen. One day y'all might wake up, but you might not never wake up. Yeah, ain't but a select chosen few, which is the remnant that the Most High chose and picked. Them the ones that are gonna be saved. You know, the truth ain't for everybody. There's more people that hate the truth than love the truth. Very few people. Almighty, so I get one out of city and two out of family. He ain't gonna deal with you hard-headed niggas. running around here, you're a Democrat, you're a Republican, and want to talk to the president, want to conversate with everybody, want to go to the Senate, want to go to the House, want to go to these white folks and beg them to stop this mess. They ain't studying you. People don't give a damn about you. You're going to the wrong people. You better turn to Yahweh. If you want the evil to stop in this world, you got to turn to Yah. That's it and that's all. Ain't nothing else gonna help you. Because these white folks ain't studying. Read.
Haters of Yahweh should have submitted themselves unto him.
And the people that hate Yah should have submitted themselves. Because the ones that hate Yah, they don't do what Yah say. They don't keep no Sabbath day. They still eat pork chops and chitlins and hog maw. They still breaking all his laws. They still breaking all the laws. So you don't love Yahweh when you breaking his law. I don't care who you is. And whatever color you is, if you love Yah, you're going to keep his commandment. White, black, green, or yellow.
But their time should have endured forever.
It would endure forever if we would have chose Yahweh instead of Christianity in the New Testament.
He should have fed them also with the finest of the wheat.
That's right. Our food wouldn't be defiled in Wendy's, McDonald's, and Long John Silver. They cooking pork and grease and all this old man. No, it wouldn't be no pork nowhere in the United States. When we get to the Holy Land, ain't gonna be no swine and pork running around. Ain't gonna be none of that.
And with honey out of the rock should I have satisfied thee.
Okay, let's go to Jeremiah 26 and 5. 26 and 5.
Jeremiah chapter 26 verse 5. To hearken to the words of my servants the prophets, whom I sent unto you.
And they ain't gonna listen to the prophet that the Almighty sent unto you.
Both rising up early and sending them, but ye have not hearkened.
You ain't gonna listen to the Old Testament. The prophets is the Old Testament. You ain't gonna listen to Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and Isaiah, Moses, Abraham. You gonna go over there and listen to Mark, Luke, Peter, John, and all them hillbillies. That's who you want to listen to, because it's all smooth thing, easy thing. Our people ain't want no truth. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to Ezekiel 3 and 7. I'm gonna prove to you. Don't let me forget to prove that people want to hear something easy. They don't want to hear no laws. Okay, Ezekiel 30 and 7. I think, yeah. Yeah.
Chapter 30.
No, Ezekiel 3, my fault. 3 and 7.
Ezekiel chapter 3 verse 7. But the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee.
It just told you, you ain't gonna listen to Yahweh. The house of Israel, all these people in the United States are the house of Israel, and they ain't studying Yah. Book popping it. Read.
For they will not hearken unto me.
And Yahweh just say he know your heart. He know you ain't gonna listen to me, but it's my job to tell you. Even though you ain't gonna do it and listen, I still gonna tell you. Because I'm gonna get my blessing from the Most High. Because he told me to do that. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. Whether you hear or not, still tell the fools. I'm gonna tell you fools, even though I know you ain't gonna do what he say do. But I got to tell you, read.
For all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted.
They say we prudent and hard-hearted. That's right. We ain't gonna do nothing but what we want to do.
Behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and that thy forehead strong against their foreheads.
Okay, let's go to Ezekiel 20. Ezekiel 20, I think. Let's see. Okay, yeah, Ezekiel 20 and 39.
Ezekiel chapter 20 verse 39. As for you, O house of Israel, thus saith Yahweh Elohim, go ye, serve ye every one his idols.
He said, go and serve the New Testament Christianity in this day and time.
And hereafter also, if ye will not hearken unto me, but pollute ye my holy name no more with your gifts, and with your idols.
Don't be talking about no Father, Son, and Holy Ghost with me. You got to go through Yahshua to get to Yahweh. No, he ain't studying that. He don't want to hear that. He ain't told Moses and them to do that. He ain't never told nobody in the Old Testament to go through nobody to get to somebody. No, he don't operate like that. No, he don't do it like that. So what else? Yeah, let me let's go to Isaiah right quick. This what our people right here want. They want this. This what they want right here. I think it's Isaiah. Right. Okay. Go to Isaiah 30. This corn right here. This what they want right here. Okay. Isaiah 30 and 8.
Isaiah chapter 30, verse 8. Now go, write it before them in a table, and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever,
This gonna be for a time forever and ever. Read.
that this is a rebellious people,
This is a rebellious people. We are rebellious people. The book saying. Read.
lying children,
We are lie. We got to have the New Testament. We got to go to church. We got to wear a cross. We gonna lie. You got to go through the Father. You got to go through the Son to get to the Father. You gonna lie. You got to have this old junk. Read.
children that will not hear the law of Yahweh,
We ain't gonna hear y'all out. Well, we want to go want the easy way. Read. Watch this.
which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesies not unto us right things.
Don't tell us right thing. Tell us a lie. Tell us we want to live a lie. Read.
Speak unto us smooth things,
Tell us easy stuff. We don't want to hear nothing about no law. Tell us something easy, something that where we can break the commandments. Where the law's been did away with. JC came on the scene and changed everything. We can eat pork now. We can break all the laws now because we got a new guy that stepped up and that can die for our sin. So we can go rape, rob, and murder and kill and do everything. We can do anything on the sun. All we got to do is turn this hippie on the stick, and all our sins is water under the bridge. Everything is cool. We want that way. That's the way they want. They want the easy way. They want a lie. You going to hell for believing in a lie. Read it.
prophesies deceits,
Prophesy the deceit. Tell us lies. Because that's all we want to do is live a lie. Our people are a hot mess. A hot, zip-zop, hot mess. That's all they want to do is live a lie. They don't want no truth. They perpetrating fraud. Like they want to hear the truth, but they don't want no truth. Perpetrating fraud. Yeah, so I just wanted to prove beyond the shadow of a doubt that the Almighty spoke in the Old Testament and not the New Testament. And I want anybody out there to get paid. Call me yesterday and get your money and prove to me that the Most High had anything to do with the New Testament. That he talked to JC, he talked to John, or Peter and Paul. In the New Testament say, but I say. Matter of fact, let's read some of that junk over there. Let me go, I think, Matthew 5. Let me show you what the New Testament say. I think Matthew 5. Then I'm going to get on up out of here. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, go to 5 and 27. Matthew.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 27. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time.
Now this JC talking. He talking about you heard them say of old time. He talking about the Old Testament, the old book, but you might have heard. Like some drunks on the street talk, man, you might have heard who out the band. This man is a fool. Watch what he say.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
And that's true. You ain't supposed to commit adultery, fool. Now watch what he say.
But I say unto you,
But I say, who is you? You ain't a poot in the wind. You didn't win condemn what Yahweh said. This is talking about what you say, read.
that whosoever looketh on a woman to
Go ahead.
to lust after her, have committed adultery with her already in his heart.
You can't never commit no adultery in your heart, and you ain't had sex with her. Cause adultery is sex. You have to penetrate a woman to commit adultery. Just cause you looking and thinking and ooh wee, lusting. Hey man, listen, man. Yeah, but you ain't supposed to. Yeah, but this here is a lie because the only way you could commit adultery is when you have sex with a woman. Let me see. Let me get some more out of this. Let me see. Uh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Read 30. Skip on down to 5 and 33.
Verse 33. Again, ye have heard that it hath been said by them of old time,
Now this is what JC said again all through this book. He's saying this. Watch this.
Thou shalt not forswear thyself, but shalt perform unto the Lord thy oaths.
In other words, don't swear. Watch this. Read.
But I say unto you,
But JC said, but I say unto you, who is he? He ain't nothing. You
sw-
might have heard what the Old Testament say, but I say, he's talking about something new. Read.
swear not at all,
This fool say don't swear at all.
neither by heaven, for it is God's throne.
That's a lie. You can't swear it. All through the Old Testament they swore. That's a lie. This is another lie. Okay. Skip on down to 38.
Verse 38. Ye have heard that it hath been said, an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth. But I say unto you, that ye resist not evil.
Don't resist evil. When you go to penitentiary and a man want to make a woman at you, don't resist evil. Let him go and run up in you. That's what this man resists evil. Just let it happen. That's what this fool's saying. Read.
But whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also.
Okay, he said, whoever want to bust you upside the head with a sledgehammer on the right side, let him bust you upside the head on the left side. All these lies, believing in this book. But I'm finna get ready to close out because I'm about to go throw up because I'm sick. It's a poison dog right about now. All these lies that I just wrote, that I just read in the New Testament. So I wanted to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt this book ain't a fart in a windstorm. And anybody that's out there believing this book been brainwashed, bamboozled, and hoodwinked. The white man that did a good job on you, buddy. He did a very good job for brainwashing you, boy. He tricked you real good. And you can't even know, you don't even know you being tricked. You can't even see you being tricked. Man, because you're a zip-zap fool. But I'm going to go and close out, and I'm going to give all honor and glory and praise and worship to Yahweh by saying hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Praise the mighty Yah. I ain't studying that New Testament. Shalom.